At the party, my husband's good friend loudly asked him, "Your little secretary is pregnant with your child, what do you plan to do?" My husband placed the peeled shrimp on my plate and softly said, "Except for marriage, I'll give her everything she deserves. But she and the child must never appear in front of Sylvia. The company's research and development entirely relies on Sylvia alone. If she discovers my betrayal, she will definitely leave me. Neither I nor the company can afford the cost of losing Sylvia." After speaking, he signed in sign language that he loved me forever. Yet he didn't notice my reddened eyes. He didn't know that I came today to surprise him by telling him my ears had been cured. But I never expected that he would give me a surprise as well. I lost my hearing for him and gave up my dreams. But what I got in return was betrayal. However, he knows me well. If I discover his infidelity, I will definitely leave him. Without looking back. "Sylvia, what's wrong?" Hearing Marcus's slightly panicked voice, the entire private room suddenly fell into dead silence. Everyone stared at me in horror. When I spat out a bloodied shrimp with tears streaming down, including Marcus, everyone simultaneously breathed a sigh of relief. Luckily, sister-in-law is deaf, otherwise, it would be big trouble. It's best if she remains deaf for life, so Marcus can control her easily. What if she could hear? She's just a lapdog, as long as Marcus gives her a little sweetness, she'll obediently comply. A group of people in the private room insulted and cursed me. But my husband, the man I deeply loved, merely pretended to affectionately check the wound in my mouth. He didn't refute them, not even furrowing his brow. After confirming I was fine, Marcus breathed a sigh of relief and signed to me, "I'll take you to the hospital first. Next time, don't eat so hastily. If you like shrimp, I'll peel them for you every day." If it were before when I couldn't hear any sounds, facing Marcus's performance at this moment, I would have been moved to tears. But now, I only felt a chill all over my body, so shocked that I couldn't utter a word. Marcus was about to get up and pack to take me away, but his good friend stopped him verbally. "Marcus, wait a bit, we prepared a show for you tonight. No show is more important than taking Sylvia to see the doctor, you guys have fun. Don't go, you're the star today." Marcus ignored them completely. He helped me put on my coat, took my bag, and led me out. I was like a thoughtless puppet, allowing him to manipulate me. But upon opening the private room door, Marcus stopped in his tracks. Lila, dressed in a red gown, stood at the doorway, blocking the way. Seeing the meticulously dressed Lila, Marcus's expression changed. He blocked my view and sternly questioned, "Didn't I warn you not to appear in front of Sylvia? What do you want?" Lila glanced at me and immediately said to Marcus submissively, "In ancient times, when a concubine entered the household, she had to offer tea to the principal wife. Now that I'm pregnant, I don't want any status, I just want to offer a toast to sister. It's equivalent to asking for the status of an outer chamber, that should be fine, right?" The private room quieted down, and everyone looked on as if watching a good show. Marcus then realized that the show they mentioned earlier was this. Lila wanted to perform a harmonious wife and concubine act in front of his good friends. "Sylvia has abstained from alcohol for 3 years, she won't drink your wine." Marcus instinctively wanted to refuse verbally. Previously, to get the company listed as soon as possible, I worked day and night, with irregular schedules and meals, leading to multiple hospitalizations for liver and stomach diseases within a few short years. The doctor strictly warned me that I absolutely could not drink alcohol. In the past few years, whenever Marcus saw others urging me to drink, he always refused sternly. But this time, Marcus hesitated. He turned to look at me and signed, "Sylvia, Lila is my assistant, she particularly admires what you did to save me back then. She wants to toast you, why don't you have a drink with her?" Marcus's words were like dull knives repeatedly stabbing into my heart, like countless insects gnawing at my body. I felt as if I had fallen into a bottomless abyss, unable to breathe. This play today seemed prepared for Marcus, but it was actually for me. The protagonist was Marcus, the supporting role was Lila. The clown was me. I looked into Marcus's eyes, with a sliver of hope, and struggled to open my mouth to ask, "Do you want me to drink?" Marcus hesitated for a moment and nodded. I smiled. It turns out that when people are in extreme pain, they really do laugh. He knew this was an insult to me. He also knew my body couldn't handle alcohol. He knew even more that only he could deceive me into drinking this glass. But he still agreed. 6 years ago, to accompany him in starting his business, I gave up my dreams. 3 years ago, in a car accident, I lost my hearing to save him. But today, I finally realized what kind of thing I had loved. Under everyone's gaze, I took the wine glass offered by Lila with both hands. Marcus, this is the toast Lila prepared for you, and it's also our farewell drink. After drinking this glass, there will be no more affection between us. Amid the crowd's jeers, I drank the wine in the glass completely. This group of good friends with intricate ties to Marcus's company all expressed their respect to him. I'll take you to the hospital. The triumphant Marcus, amid waves of flattery, finally remembered that I had just been injured. But his usual concern now made me extremely nauseous. However, I shook off his hand and said indifferently, "You stay and play with them a bit longer, I'll go to the hospital myself. Don't let me spoil your fun." After saying that, ignoring the somewhat stunned Marcus, I left the private room alone. Marcus wanted to chase after me, but was stopped by Lila, who pulled him back to his seat. Amid the brothers' uproar, he drank interlocking arm wine with Lila. As I walked out of the hotel, tears uncontrollably blurred my eyes. 6 years ago, Marcus visited my teacher for consultation on a technical problem. Since the teacher had a sudden matter, he pushed me, who was helping the teacher's wife cook, forward. Because we hit it off, the teacher's wife kept Marcus for dinner. We discussed the technical issues while eating. Marcus ate all the dishes I made cleanly. From that day on, using the excuse of liking my cooking, he launched a fierce pursuit of me. With no social experience or emotional history, I quickly fell under his affection. That year, for him, I gave up the advanced study opportunity recommended by my teacher. He also kept his promise and married me. After marriage, we were loving and harmonious. Until 3 years ago, when we had a car accident during a business trip. At the critical moment, I protected him desperately. He suffered minor injuries, while I lay in the ICU for 3 days and ultimately lost hearing in both ears until fully cured today. Until just now, I had always believed my sacrifices were worthwhile. Because I thought Marcus and I were a model of modern love. I sacrificed everything for him, and he guarded by my side. We could support each other through life. But now, I don't know if his initial pursuit and promise to marry me were sincere or ulterior. However, it doesn't matter anymore. I want to completely separate from him. Picking up my phone, I called my teacher. "Teacher, my ears are healed, I want to join the aviation project number 3. "Great. But are you sure? Once you join aviation project number 3, you can't contact family for at least 5 years. Are you willing to leave Marcus?" I answered without hesitation, "Teacher, I'm getting a divorce." After a moment of silence, the teacher said, "All right, in 7 days, I'll send someone to pick you up." I looked back at the brightly lit hotel and pleaded, "Teacher, can it be sooner?" "All right, tomorrow night at 8 p.m., the person to pick you up will arrive on time. You've wasted your talent for so many years, it's time to get back into it quickly. Your talent belongs to the stars, not the kitchen." Back home, I took 2 pills and, under the dual effects of alcohol and medication, soon became drowsy. In a half-asleep state, Marcus walked in while on the phone. "Lila, I'm very satisfied with today's gift." "I'm happy if you're satisfied, at least it lets your friends acknowledge me, even if as a mistress, I'm content." Lila's flirtatious words were played openly without restraint. Marcus wasn't worried at all that I, the deaf one, would hear. Listening to their flirting, I suddenly felt unprecedented nausea and sat up with dry heaves. Seeing my reaction, Marcus anxiously came over to care for me. But the vulgar flirting on the phone, combined with the perfume Lila left on him, pushed my nausea to the peak. I pushed Marcus away and rushed into the bathroom. I leaned over the toilet, wanting to vomit, but couldn't, feeling terribly nauseous. After calming down a bit and trying to stand, Marcus touched my shoulder to comfort me. But the instant he touched me, I got goosebumps, and the nausea intensified. I vomited immediately. Now, my body was starting to feel disgusted by Marcus too. I wanted to push him away and distance myself, but Marcus, who always had a cleanliness obsession, hugged me regardless and frantically signed, "It's all my fault, I shouldn't have let you drink. Don't be afraid, I'll take you to the hospital." His hands moved so fast they left after images, as if trying to say everything clearly. 1 second flirting with another woman, now affectionately apologizing to me. "Marcus, which of your words are true?" I pushed him away forcefully and kept a distance. "I feel much better, I'll be fine after some sleep." It turns out lying is so easy. I never deceived Marcus before, but now, lies come out effortlessly. And there's no guilt at all. Marcus looked into my eyes and signed an apology. "I'm really sorry, I've been too busy lately, not even making time for you. Ignoring your feelings is all my fault." After saying that, he hugged me tightly, very forcefully, as if trying to embed me into his embrace. Seemingly only this way could I feel his love for me. Yet it allowed me to see the hickey hidden under his clothes. Marcus helped me up, but I shook off his hand and walked back to the bedroom alone. Marcus was stunned. Since our marriage, I had never given him attitude, let alone shaken off his hand. By the time he reacted, I was already lying in bed. "Sylvia, you're angry at me, right? Blaming me for forcing you to drink, blaming me for not having time for you, right? I apologize, don't be angry, okay?" Watching the city-famous domineering CEO display a childish posture in front of me, I closed my eyes in pain. Seeing I ignored him and didn't continue to wake me, he instead breathed a sigh of relief. Marcus took out his phone and played a voice message. Lila's voice sounded in the bedroom. "Has sister fallen asleep? I'm next door and have changed clothes. You promised my reward, don't try to back out." Marcus chuckled lightly and immediately got up quietly to leave. Soon, wild sounds came from next door, and my tears finally burst forth. Lila was actually in my home. Was it the first time? Or countless times? "Marcus, it's a pity you didn't become an actor." The next day when I woke up, Marcus had left a note but was nowhere to be seen. "Wife, tonight at 8 p.m. is the company's final IPO roadshow, don't forget. I have a sudden matter and am leaving first. I prepared a loving breakfast for you, remember to eat. Love you." The breakfast was all my favorites, but there was an extra crab roe crystal bun. Marcus doesn't eat crystal buns, and I'm allergic to crab roe. It seems Lila left this morning. Right, she should stay overnight. Otherwise, how could it match the big show she prepared last night? Isn't this Lila's purpose? I received a message from the teacher on my phone and clicked to view. "Your junior brother has set off, prepare yourself and don't delay." I replied, "Okay, I'll prepare in advance." I casually threw the note into the trash bin and started packing. Packing slowly by myself with no interruptions. It would be even better without the gifts Marcus sent from time to time. At 11 a.m., I received sunflowers ordered by Marcus. This is my favorite flower because the language of sunflowers is loyal and passionate love. These were also the flowers he used on the proposal day, which was a Wednesday. Marcus said that every Wednesday thereafter would be our wedding anniversary. So, every Wednesday, I receive his sunflowers. At 2 p.m., I received a ring personally designed by Marcus. This was his 3-month labor of love, unique and one of a kind. At 4 p.m., I received the gown sent by Marcus. This was specially customized by Marcus for tonight's IPO event, perfectly matching his suit. However, Marcus didn't appear all day. Because he had to accompany Lila. I didn't need to ask where Marcus was, because Lila would tell me on Instagram. At 11 a.m., Lila received a bouquet of sunflowers. The caption was, "As always Wednesday, as always sunflowers." At 2 p.m., Lila posted a close-up of a ring. My unique ring now had an identical second one. At 4 p.m., Lila showed off a pregnancy test report and a villa property deed. Caption, a certain someone's gift to the child. Of course, Marcus never appeared on his Instagram. But she accidentally captured the man's hand, ring, and watch, all showcasing Marcus's identity to me. Marcus's past belonged to me, now to her. However, I no longer cared. At 5 p.m., I changed into clothes from 6 years ago and put my cherished books into the suitcase. At 6 p.m., I cut up all the photos and burned all memories of me and Marcus. At 7 p.m., I placed the prepared divorce agreement in the living room and got into the car my junior brother came to pick me up in. When I arrived at the airport, Marcus, accompanied by Lila, arrived at the IPO promotion site. A group immediately surrounded Marcus with flattery. Marcus, rest assured, this is just a formality. The shares we agreed on in advance will definitely be reserved for me. Marcus, you and your wife have supported each other in entrepreneurship for 6 years, finally, it's harvest season, truly inspiring. Now, just waiting for the wife to appear, and this promotion will be perfectly successful. Hearing everyone's words, Lila's face looked unpleasant, and she asked indignantly, clearly Marcus coming alone is enough, why wait for a vase? The surroundings immediately quieted, and someone quickly rebuked Lila, if you don't understand, shut up. The wife's technology is top tier domestically and internationally, she's the value of the company. Of course, the wife is the thoroughbred horse, and Marcus is the talent scout. Only when Marcus and the wife combine forces can they be invincible. Right, Marcus, where's the wife? Why hasn't she arrived yet? Hearing the question, Marcus picked up his phone to message me and discovered a red exclamation mark in the chat history. He had been deleted by me. Marcus was full of confusion and was about to call me when suddenly someone exclaimed, "Oh no, big trouble. Quick, check the trending searches." Marcus wasn't interested in trending searches, but he heard passing guests mention my name. So, he switched from the contacts interface to check the news for trending topics. Welcome to the new commander of aviation project number 3, Sylvia. In the trending photo, I was smiling brightly, wearing the skirt from 6 years ago. That was my outfit when he first visited the teacher for technical consultation. From that day on, I began to lose myself, giving up my dreams, wholeheartedly for Marcus. Since I've decided to let go of everything, I'll start anew from the moment the mistake began. With years of marital affection, Marcus naturally understood me. When I want to do something, I start from the beginning. The skirt may be old, but I am brand new. The photo was glaring. Coupled with the exclamation mark after the message he just sent, a huge sense of unease surged in his heart. Didn't I hear Sylvia is deaf? How could a national project allow a disabled person to participate? Maybe because Sylvia is exceptional after all. No matter how exceptional, it's impossible to join such a major project. Writing a proposal might be okay. What nonsense proposal? Didn't you see its commander? She must have recovered long ago. The surrounding discussions entered Marcus's ears word for word. As a research company in the aviation-related field, Marcus naturally knew the value of the Aviation No. 3 research project. A national project would absolutely not include disabled individuals. Marcus's throat tightened, his breathing rapid, and he dialed my number tremblingly. "Sorry, the user you dialed is powered off, please try again later." The prompt tone on the phone was like the last straw breaking the camel's back. In just a few minutes, Marcus began recalling everything from yesterday. When exactly did she recover her hearing? Was it yesterday or earlier? Memory fragments flashed through his mind continuously. The previous days were normal, except when drinking yesterday. I asked, "Do you really want me to drink?" And a series of abnormal actions yesterday. The truth always hurts sincere hearts, his infidelity truth is, and so is my hearing recovery. So, will Sylvia come to today's promotion? Isn't the Aviation No. 3 project unable to see family for years? Yes, now Miss Sylvia is at the airport, said to be flying directly to the southwest at 8 p.m. Marcus looked up at the hall clock. 7:30 p.m., still time. Lila, sensing Marcus's intention, hurriedly blocked his path. Marcus, the IPO event is starting soon, you can't go find her. We need someone to host the overall situation. On Marcus's resolute face, there was no hesitation. If the company lost me, this promotion couldn't succeed at all. Plus, if follow-up research results couldn't keep up, the company would soon go bankrupt. Marcus shook off Lila's hand and drove to the airport. Numerous media vehicles followed behind. Sylvia, who should have appeared at the venue, was actually joining the Aviation No. 3 development. This must be explosive news. Because of the media following, Marcus suppressed the urge to run red lights, only angrily pounding the steering wheel. The goo company couldn't have negative news now. When he arrived at the airport, there were 15 minutes left before the plane took off. As research personnel, we naturally had distinctive markers. Marcus headed towards us as soon as he entered the hall. I was engrossed in reading research materials. The commotion outside didn't affect me. Marcus's voice was tight, but he still called out my name, Sylvia. I looked in the direction of the voice and saw Marcus standing there in shock. His face showed more guilt. Yes, I'm not deaf, I've recovered to normal. Marcus is so smart, he should have guessed why I was leaving and why I was joining the Aviation No. 3 development. I thought it would be smooth going to the base, but unexpectedly, before leaving, I had to see Marcus's disgusting face once more. I gently closed the book and walked straight to Marcus, who was blocked outside the lounge by my junior brother. You can hear? Even though he already knew the answer, Marcus still signed unwillingly. Yes, I can hear. When? I snorted coldly and slowly said, is when I could hear important? Marcus turned his head away, not daring to look at me. Saying those things right in front of me, did you find it amusing? Treating me like a fool for so many years, did it give you a great sense of accomplishment? Yesterday afternoon, I wanted to surprise you, but instead, you surprised me first. Many reporters followed behind Marcus, and the researchers coming to pick me up all looked at him. He paused and explained, wife, listen to my explanation, these are all misunderstandings. There are so many people here, let's talk at home. Don't make a scene. Just a few words, as if diluting the harm he caused me. Marcus is as selfish as ever, always considering himself. Now he knows embarrassment, but when finding a mistress, he didn't know propriety, righteousness, integrity, or shame. I held up my ID badge in front of me and slowly said, going back is impossible, I've already processed my entry at the Aerospace Bureau. Let's part on good terms, we can still be dignified. My husband found a mistress, and I was surprised by my calmness. Perhaps I should cry, make a scene, and threaten suicide. I truly loved Marcus. Otherwise, I wouldn't have given up my dreams for him 6 years ago or lost my hearing to save him 3 years ago. Fortunately, my life isn't only about him, and he's not indispensable. 6 years of affection, consider it fed to the dogs. The hall announcement began, ladies and gentlemen, attention please. The 3U6696 flight to Country A is now boarding. Please carry all your luggage and boarding pass to board at gate 17. Have a pleasant journey, thank you. After the first announcement, my junior brother beside me started packing, preparing to take me boarding. Marcus stepped forward anxiously and grabbed me. Sylvia. You can't leave, what about our dreams if you go? The IPO event is starting soon. I was wrong, really wrong, forgive me, okay? Whatever you want, I'll give it to you. If you hate Lila, I'll send her away, never to appear before you again. I snorted coldly and disdainfully shook off Marcus's hand. That's your dream, not mine. My dream is in the stars. Seeing me entangled, my junior brother hurriedly came forward to help. With major media present, Marcus couldn't make it ugly, so helplessly let me go. But I knew he wouldn't give up easily, the goo company was a vampire surviving off me. I didn't want to help him with anything anymore or provide him with anything. The Aviation No. 3 mission starts in 10 days. If not for my request, the teacher wouldn't have come to pick me up so soon. When my mother was alive, she said my temperament was too cold. I can't tolerate others making even a small mistake. But this is fine, I only need to be sad for a while, and I can let go. I treat others with sincerity, why should I suppress my emotions to forgive them after they hurt me? Marcus knew that if he betrayed me, I would definitely leave, but he still chose to find a mistress. Did he really think I loved him enough to tolerate any of his behaviors? I'm now working for the country, in the coming time, you'd better not bother me. After saying these warning words, I turned and left with the others. The major media didn't understand the full story from the few words but sensed that our marital relationship might have cracked. After I left, Marcus stood in place for a long time, unwilling to leave. His phone was blowing up, but he didn't dare answer. Today's IPO event had completely failed. From the moment I decided to join the Aviation No. 3 project, Marcus's company couldn't go public. While Marcus was dazed, he suddenly remembered a heart-shaped shell I gave him years ago. That was when we went to City B together. At night, I nagged to eat barbecue. During my period, I would be a bit fussy, always making Marcus satisfy my various small requests. Sylvia, it's too late now, let's eat tomorrow. I was someone with ideas, whom 10 oxen couldn't pull back. Pouting angrily, I insisted on going out to eat immediately. Marcus had no choice but to find me thick clothes, and we went out. But before reaching the barbecue shop, we were stopped by a few thugs for robbery. One of them saw my branded clothes and came to grab them. At the critical moment, Marcus blocked in front of me. One thug's sharp knife accidentally stabbed into his abdomen. Because of this, I made him a heart-shaped shell pendant. If not for me, he wouldn't have to lie in the hospital. In the future, if I really refuse to forgive you, this shell is your get-out-of-jail-free card. Seeing it, no matter what, I'll forgive you. After Marcus took the necklace, he carefully felt it and said lightly, "Any matter?" "Yes, any matter." At this moment, Marcus didn't stay at the airport and immediately drove home. As soon as he entered, he noticed the trash bin was full to the brim. I have a cleanliness obsession and always take out all trash before leaving. This was the first time. So Marcus bent down and dumped out the contents of the trash bin. Inside were all photos of us over the years, all cut up by me. The most conspicuous was our wedding photo. I was in a hurry, so I only cut it in the middle, separating the two people. Marcus had complex emotions, feeling suffocated inside. After a deep sigh, he walked into the room. The divorce agreement on the table was very obvious. I deliberately placed it prominently for Marcus to notice. Upon seeing it, Marcus had a face of disbelief. Not because of the divorce agreement, but its content. To reduce unnecessary trouble, I chose to leave with nothing. The marital joint property did include my share. But thinking that this money was earned together with Marcus made me feel disgusted. Money is something I can earn immediately if I want. Moreover, I don't need that much. Previously, accompanying Marcus, to save his face, I let him participate in everything. Thus, I slowed down many projects. If I did them myself, his current achievements would take me only a year. I always believed teaching a man to fish is better than giving him fish, so I patiently taught him everything in my mind. But some people don't know gratitude. Marcus gripped the divorce agreement tightly in his hand, trembling as he read it all. The paper edges were crumpled white by him. Marcus's tears fell in large drops. But soon he composed himself. Now, the most important was finding that necklace. Marcus searched everywhere but couldn't find the shell. He began recalling before. After getting the necklace, at home, I placed it in the study cabinet for him. Marcus recalled while searching. As if remembering something, he lay on the ground. He saw the shell necklace in the corner, covered in dust. I rarely entered Marcus's study, so it wasn't as clean as other places. Everyone has their private space, which I think is normal. But this private space was where he had affairs with other women. Marcus took out the shell and washed it in the sink. But the embedded materials, stained with dust, couldn't be washed off. Frustrated, Marcus pounded the washstand. He went to several cleaning shops before making the shell look less bad. Booking a ticket for the next day, Marcus went back to pack some clothes, preparing to go to the northwest to find me. My previous warning, in his view, could still be resolved with some coaxing. At night, Marcus looked at the familiar everything at home, his eyes dim. Ding dong. The doorbell rang. Marcus was ecstatic and quickly stood up. Sylvia. The words "you're back" weren't even out when Marcus saw Lila at the door, and his face immediately darkened. What are you doing here? Lila didn't mind and calmly said, if you don't go to the company, I have to come find you, Marcus. Why did you remove my position? Although I'm pregnant, the month is still early, I can accompany you for a few more months. Lila said while trying to go inside but was blocked by Marcus. I said, this company can't do without Sylvia. You can never appear in front of her. Since you couldn't do that, you should lose some things. At this moment, Lila started to feel unconvinced. What she can do, I can do too. Why do you only have eyes for her? Marcus, I'm pregnant with your child, taking back the house is one thing, but firing me, how do you expect me and our son to live? Lila originally wanted to probe using work matters. Unexpectedly, Marcus had this attitude. All of Lila's things were taken back by Marcus, if anything was left, it was the child in her belly. Now she tore off the mask, no longer hiding. Marcus, if you don't give me money, I'll expose all the rotten things you've done. You still want to chase back Sylvia? I tell you, impossible. If you dare treat me like this, then no one will have it easy. Marcus looked at the little secretary who used to be affectionate in his arms, now turning hostile for a bit of money. He only found it laughable. To have liked such trash, no, to have cheated with such trash. In the early days of entrepreneurship, I accompanied him sleeping under overpasses and eating instant noodles for half a year. Through thick and thin. Marcus worried Lila would do something crazy, so he covered her mouth, dragged her into the room, forcibly injected her with the sedative on the table, instructed the assistant to take her to a private hospital, and then headed to Country A to find me. The moment the plane landed, I saw the teacher and Daniel. Besides me, the student the teacher valued most was Daniel. This person was the one I always wanted to surpass during university. But every time, I was just a bit short, always 0.1 away from him. College entrance exam score differed by 0.1, GPA always differed by 0.1, physical test scores also differed by 0.1. My note for him was still 0.1. Long time no see, Sylvia. Daniel's voice pulled me back to reality. Long time no see. After simple greetings, the teacher and Daniel took me to the welcome party. There were many familiar faces, mostly the teacher's students, senior brothers and sisters who had taken good care of me. Relax well this week, the project officially starts in 7 days. The dishes on the table were all my favorites, which surprised me. The teacher noticed my emotion. Sylvia, these are all your favorites, right? I thought Daniel was lying to us. Yes, Sylvia, we thought Daniel wanted to eat them himself and lied saying you like them. A senior sister beside suddenly spoke. Others joined in the teasing. Daniel said somewhat embarrassedly, you senior brothers and sisters don't know what junior sister likes to eat, yet you tease me. Daniel, you kid, still pretending. It was noisy again, as if back in university. Although I was also curious why Daniel knew my tastes, after all, Marcus never really understood what I liked over the years. After the welcome party, Daniel took me around the research institute. After explaining some content about aviation number 3, he suddenly asked, aren't you married? Joining this project means you can't go back for 5 years, will your husband agree? Seeing my silence, Daniel hurriedly explained, I didn't mean to pry into your private life, I'm just curious. Oh no, I'm not curious, I just care about you, don't misunderstand. Seeing Daniel stutter, I couldn't help laughing. The recent unpleasantness was swept away. After a deep breath, I said calmly, he cheated, the mistress is pregnant, and I'm divorcing him. Daniel was stunned upon hearing and looked at me with heartache. I pretended to be relaxed and said again, it's nothing, just a husband cheating. Why do you look so sad? The moment sad was said, Daniel embraced me. I wanted to struggle free, but heard his gentle voice, Sylvia, you've been so wronged, so tired these years. If you want to cry, cry, I'm here with you. Crying, since my mother's death, I rarely cried. The goo company needed me to hold it up, for Marcus, I had to be strong. Countless nights of breakdown, I digested emotions myself, not wanting to disturb Marcus. His work was already very busy. Such a solid embrace, I didn't want to leave. So, shamefully, I hugged Daniel and started crying. I paid so much, yet this was the end result. Daniel gently patted my back, silently comforting me, and sent me back to the room when I was tired from crying. I don't like exposing many emotions. But I have to admit, crying once had a good effect. Early the next morning, the teacher bought some fruits to find me, with a guilty face. Presumably, Daniel told the teacher about my divorce. I looked dissatisfied at Daniel following behind. The latter guiltily didn't dare look at me. It's all my fault. If I had seen he was so unreliable back then, I wouldn't have matched you too, otherwise you wouldn't have suffered grievances for so many years. Seeing the teacher's self-blame, I held his hand and comforted, Teacher, how can it be your fault? He did love me back then. I truly loved him too, but my love withstood the test of time, his didn't. As long as I have a clear conscience. The teacher suppressed the sourness in his heart and comforted me, it's good that you can think openly. Our future is the stars and the sea, the motherland needs you now, personal feelings are insignificant here. The teacher is right, compared to feelings for Marcus, I have more important things to do. Besides him, there are more people who care about me. I shouldn't let them see me trapped in petty romantic troubles. Let the past be past. Alright, teacher, my matter is easy to resolve, don't worry. You should think of ways to apply for more funding, lest the experiments run out of money midway. I said playfully. Sylvia, have you been corrupted by Daniel, learning to tease the teacher too? The three looked at each other and laughed cheerfully. On Marcus's side, after inquiring through various channels, he also learned my specific location. When Daniel and I went out to find materials, preparing for the project start in 3 days, we encountered Marcus. It was just a few days without seeing, but Marcus's entire demeanor had changed a lot. He became decadent, with stubble, and severe dark circles under his eyes. I wanted to pull Daniel and leave immediately. But Marcus took out the shell pendant, his voice trembling. Sylvia, you promised me. I sighed and looked at Daniel. I have some matters to handle, you go back first. I'll wait nearby, call me if anything. I hesitated for a while but agreed, then walked straight to Marcus. Some things indeed need serious resolution. Marcus had a flattering face, humble tone. Sylvia, I don't want a divorce, do you remember this? You said you'd forgive me. If you don't like Lila, I'll drive her away. Wife, come back, I can't live without you. Last time I was confused, let's hold another banquet and tell everyone I love only you. I said indifferently, absolutely not, if another mistress comes to toast me, my body won't handle it. My sarcasm didn't strike Marcus's confidence at all. He took out the ring I left at home on his own. Sylvia, this is specially designed for you, the unique ring, no matter how angry you are, you shouldn't leave it at home. His words made me laugh involuntarily. Marcus, do you know? I have Lila's contact, you said this is unique, but how come I saw Lila has one too? You even bought her a house. Tell me how cheap your unique is. Marcus was speechless for a moment and knelt down with a thud. Sylvia, I really was wrong. I promise never to do it again, forgive me once for the shell's sake. I took the shell pendant from Marcus's hand. Of course, I remembered the promise then. Seeing the embedded things on the shell had yellowed proved its owner didn't cherish it. After examining carefully, I threw the shell pendant into the trash bin in front of him. Marcus, we're adults, can you not be so childish? Some promises only count when in love. Taking an expired ticket to board, do you think it's possible? Sylvia, I really know I was wrong. You promised to forgive me, you can't regret it. I love you, Sylvia. Looking at Marcus kneeling on the ground, my heart had no ripples. 7 years ago, he also knelt with red eyes to propose to me. 3 years ago, he pleadingly said he would never let me suffer any harm. But he's still entangled with Lila, continuously hurting me. Once sweet words, now every sentence makes me feel disgusted. You love me, but I don't love you anymore. Sign the divorce agreement soon. If you don't, it's just more trouble in legal procedures. Marcus unwillingly held my hand and spoke again. Why? Sylvia, you say no to our years of affection just like that. How can you be so heartless? Looking at Marcus's heartbroken appearance, I only felt it extremely hypocritical. Is it me who doesn't want it? Marcus. Us becoming like this today isn't caused by you? What right do you have to accuse me? I'm really annoyed by you. You dared to do it, why can't you bear the consequences? I paid so much for you, how did you treat me? How do you have the face to ask me to forgive you? Daniel saw Marcus holding me tightly and came forward. I thought he would reason, but unexpectedly, he directly kicked Marcus away. What's there to say to such scum? Let's go. Since that day, I haven't looked at Marcus's messages. I heard Daniel used his domestic connections to deal with him. He was overwhelmingly busy. The day before the aviation number 3 mission started, I saw a trending topic. Marcus actually kicked Lila, causing miscarriage, and was sentenced for it. But these matters are irrelevant to me. What I need to do now is wholeheartedly serve the people and contribute to the country. Not having systematic scientific research for years, I was somewhat unadapted at first. To quickly regain my state, I started a high-pressure but fulfilling life. Attending classes, making up lessons, experiments, papers, when these surrounded me, I was like a dry sponge, constantly absorbing water. Striving to immerse in the ocean of knowledge, all past unhappiness disappeared from my mind. Every day was tiring, every moment had unknown knowledge puzzling me, but I was truly happy and content. For the first time, I clearly felt that not only love makes people happy. Doing what I like truly makes me feel comfortable from the bottom of my heart, making me happy. I remember the morning when I suddenly heard the alarm ring. Short, urgent sounds, accompanied by heartbeat, 1, 2, piercing the eardrum. I listened to it loop for a full minute. At that moment, I truly realized I had recovered. I ran to the woods, listening to morning birdsong, nighttime insect chirps, teacher's lectures, and his angry scoldings. After marrying Marcus, I started disliking socializing. After the car accident 3 years ago, I only hid at home. Then, I often looked at myself in the mirror, hoping it was just a dream. Sometimes, I deliberately broke a teacup to test if I could hear. After disappointment, I cleaned it up, pretending nothing happened. Sylvia, lunch together? I have a question to consult you. Sure. I increasingly believed this was my happiest time in 7 years. 5 years passed quickly. During this, I helped the Aerospace Bureau overcome many difficulties. Daniel and I also developed into a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. We had many common topics. I thought after Marcus's incident, I wouldn't be moved again. But daily interactions made me fall in love with this man. He said he waited for me for 11 years. I like using a side account to post food videos for relaxation. For 11 years, the top fan with the cat avatar was him. No wonder he knew what I liked. Some love passionately, some love you silently. I didn't want him to wait anymore. Perhaps fate didn't let us meet at the beginning, but our happiness would come eventually. After the aviation number 3 research ended, I returned to the country. Meeting Marcus again was in my favorite seaside town. He was selling my favorite candied haws there. Since he was imprisoned for intentional injury, the goo company was divided up by other partners. After release, he only wanted to wait until my research ended to say sorry to me. When I saw him arm in arm with Daniel, I saw tears welling in his eyes. Sylvia, want candied haws? My treat. I smiled, somewhat relieved. No need, my boyfriend will be jealous. The words Marcus had on the tip of his tongue were swallowed. He slowly said, "Wish you happiness." "If it's Daniel, then I will definitely be happy." In a corner I couldn't see, Marcus held a shell pendant, silently crying.